we got our first trailer for the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Lots of reviews of this trailer, and of course, video game movies historically have not been good. Most video game movies historically have been very, very bad, critically panned, commercially generally unsuccessful. Recently, though, there's been an influx of a few that have been both critically well received and commercially successful. The Sonic the Hedgehog movies are actually really commercially successful, and I think they're good kids movies. Even Detective Pikachu, the live-action Pokemon movie, cleaned up at the box office, and also, was, I thought, a pretty good movie. I also saw the Uncharted movie earlier this year, and I thought it was fine. So, it's a bit hit and miss, but there's been an influx of better video game movies recently. Super Mario Bros., this movie that is coming out, I've got two things to talk about here. The first one, the trailer. I think the animation looks beautiful. It looks so authentic to the original series, and I thought the trailer shows a lot of Bowser, who is voiced by Jack Black, and I really loved the direction that Jack Black seemed to take this character. I thought it was going to be a really out there kind of Jack Black comedy style character, but he seems to be playing it quite seriously, which I think is what the character needs. Mario is voiced by Chris Pratt. I think the funny thing about Chris Pratt voicing Mario is that, of course, Mario is a relatively silent protagonist in the sense that Mario doesn't really usually have any lines. He has his kind of trademark wahoo, and he's like, here we go, like all the Mario-isms that you hear, but there's never really dialogue between any of the Mario characters in any of the games. So when they announced that Chris Pratt was going to be voicing Mario, I think everyone was like, I wonder what it's going to sound like, because they couldn't do a whole movie of Mario being like, come on, Luigi, we gotta go save a bitch from a Bowser, right? They couldn't do that. So they had to get a famous voice actor in to voice him. And as you heard in that trailer, Chris Pratt is kind of, basically, here's the funny thing. Chris Pratt said that he'd been working really, really hard on the Super Mario voice. He's been working really hard to perfect this Super Mario voice, and then after weeks of speculating and theorizing on what it might sound like, because he's worked so hard on it, we get the trailer, and essentially, Chris Pratt is just doing his own voice. which makes me think one of two things. One, either Chris Pratt did work really hard on trying all these different voices, right? All these different voices, and Nintendo or Illumination Media eventually just said, no, we just want you to do your voice. Or he was lying and he was being sarcastic when he said he worked really hard, when he didn't actually work very hard at all and just showed up and did his normal voice with a slight Brooklyn twang. That's what I think. I just thought it was so funny. He said, I've worked so hard on perfecting this voice. Next minute, it's just my voice. That's like if I said, I've been working on this character and I've been working really hard on the voice, and then it's just this. It's just me talking. I am really looking forward to this movie. I think it's in the right hands, and I think it's going to be... what I don't want is for it to be a dumb, cheesy kids movie. I know it's the Super Mario Bros. Movie, but what I mean is, I don't want them to do Fortnite dances or have a song or anything like that. I just want it to be... that's what I liked about the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. It was just a movie about Sonic the Hedgehog, who's a great character. If you love the games, you love the character. I want this to just be the animation looks great. It looks like it's a recipe for success. I just hope they nail it. That's what I want. I think there's enough passion from Jack Black. I think the fact that Nintendo is really strongly consulting on it, because there was a Super Mario Bros. Movie, a live-action movie in the 90s that commercially flopped and was considered one of the worst movies ever made. And Nintendo didn't have much overseeing guidance over that film. So, publicity-wise, it was a failure. Everything was a failure about that movie. That's why it's taken them 30 years to try it again. And I'm excited to see what they do, because I think they know this movie has to be good. They know it has to be good. They really can't afford... Well, I guess they can... Well, no, they probably can't afford it. This Mario is their biggest character. This is their flagship character. And it needs to be good. it really does need to be good, and I think they're overseeing it. Like, you heard that orchestral version of the Mario theme. I'm so looking forward to the score. Donkey Kong is in it, which I think is great, and I would love to see a spin-off Donkey Kong movie with Diddy Kong and everything. But anyway, that's where it's at.